Hiya, and welcome back to Sileo Tales of a New Dawn. Hmm. The game that teaches us that the best way to deal with your problems is to just run away from them. Anyways, we're on the newest version right here. Finally got around to updating it, so we're just gonna hop right in. Damn it. Hold on. I'm gonna have to get through this as fast as possible. Oh yeah, that's good.
Self-voicing disabled.
Hello. If only. So we were like already through all this, but like the update decided to I don't know, take us back to the beginning of day 19. So now we gotta now we get the fun. Here we go. I struggled to operate the shower for several minutes before it miraculously sprung to life. I dared not jinx my good fortune, not even to adjust the temperature, which could have admittedly been a touch warmer. At the same time as I stood beneath the cascading water, I found myself zoning out, lost in the depths of my imagination. Admittedly, having witnessed such a flawless view had spurred on a certain need. I took care of this need, releasing the mounting pressure from within and clearing my head of those impure thoughts before quickly getting myself clean and finishing up with my shower. Having dried myself thoroughly, I left my towel on the hook in the bathroom and headed for the bedroom where clean clothes awaited me. As I opened my suitcase, I recalled Ty's suggestion that I take this opportunity to hang my clothes in the closet. Unconsciously, my tail wagged. Small things like that helped to make me feel at home. I slid open the wooden door to Ty's closet. As he'd mentioned, the left-hand side of the closet was an empty space populated only by a series of clothes hangers. Meanwhile, his clothes hung neatly on the right-hand side. I began hanging my articles of clothing one at a time in the closet using the supplied hangers. It was a mere several items in when distinctive shades of blue and purple from the opposite end of Ty's attire caught my attention. Leaning in for a closer inspection, I noticed that hidden at the very back of the closet was a pair of expensive-looking suits. One was a larger suit, no doubt sized to fit Ty himself. It was a beautiful shade of violet, a flawless match for the eyes of its intended wearer. The other suit was considerably smaller and of a darker shade of blue. It struck me that the smaller of the two suits could only have belonged to Apollo. After all, there was no way Ty's hefty physique could have squeezed inside a suit that size. The realization was accompanied by a wave of sadness. Such a beautiful suit, yet one that Apollo would never again wear. Is everything okay, my dear? Huh? Oh, thank God he's wearing pants. Game that teaches us we can let our guard down whenever we see that character's wearing pants. I quickly spun in place to face the bedroom door where Ty was standing, wearing an expression of inquisitive concern. Oh, no, everything's fine, don't mind me. That is hardly an expression that suggests everything is fine, my love. These suits back here. It's just sad to think that Apollo won't be wearing this blue one again, that's all. Apollo? Whatever do you mean? What? But I thought... Oh no, my dear, believe me, Apollo wouldn't be caught dead in any suit worth under 5 figures, and he had quite the extensive collection of his own, I can assure you. That's his loss. Such a nice suit. I am thrilled that you think so, my love. I admit, it always looked rather fetching on me back in those days. Wait, this suit is yours, but there's no way it'd fit. Perhaps not now, but this suit is at least a decade and a half old now. I wasn't always so muscle-bound, you realize. Right, but I thought you just reorganized your closet. What's with the 15-year-old memento? Yes, well, you see, I apologize for being so presumptuous, my dear. But I spotted that suit when I was putting some other items in the wardrobe and storage, and, well, you see, I couldn't help but imagine how handsome and dapper you would look wearing it. Not that you aren't already handsome and dapper, I simply mean, me wearing this? Wow, I apologize, my love. I do not wish to force your hand. I understand I was getting a little ahead of myself. I should have asked first. Oh, hush, stop being such a worrywart. You know, I bet you'd look incredible in this purple suit of yours. I'd love for us to wear them together. You would? Oh, thank goodness. All we need now is an excuse for such fancy dressing. Any ideas? Oh, worry not, my dear. You may simply leave that to me. Ooh, a surprise, eh? Now I'm really excited. Don't keep me hanging too long, okay? Of course not, my dear. I wouldn't dream of it. Great. Seriously, though, 5 figures? That's one hell of a price to pay for a suit. Indeed, but Apollo, well, he had refined tastes and money to burn. And he was never judgmental towards others for not sharing those tastes. Well, except when it came to alcohol. It truly is a shame he could not have been here today to see us play. The tales of our musical endeavors were always met with such enthusiasm. I know he would have loved to be here today. I'm sure he's thrilled that the band is back together regardless. He knew, right? Indeed, though he only spoke briefly on the matter, he was enthusiastic all the same. Anyway, we have a busy day ahead of us, and as much as I would enjoy continuing to stare at your stunning naked body, perhaps we should postpone such activities for tonight? Tonight, eh? You're on. Let me get the rest of these clothes away. I won't be too long. Allow me to assist you, my love. Ty took over the task of hanging my clothes in the closet while I picked out suitable attire for the day ahead, and began dressing, slowly. With careful supervision from Ty, as I had anticipated. Before long, we both were ready to set off in the direction of the concert venue. It was still many hours before the show would begin, but there was plenty of preparation needed, and the band needed to rehearse one last time. Ro? Oi, mate, you look bloody knackered. So you weren't pulling my leg, eh? You stayed up the whole night stressing, just like you said? Sure did. Not that he needed any confirmation, what with my fur so uncharacteristically unkempt and the dark circles beneath my eyes, and I had warned him the day before I was likely to do as much. Mate, you look like shit. Anyone'd think you'd been on the piss. You know there ain't no sickies in showbiz, mate. I feel like I am, butchering this. I'd known Rue for a good while now. When I'd walked from a previous dysfunctional band, he followed close behind, despite having only joined as their drummer a few months before. And when I joined up with Glenn, we still needed a drummer. The rest, as they say, is history. The Rue and I never really clicked until much later on. I know, won't need any. I'm going ahead with the plan. Crikey, your nuts are bigger than I thought. So you're dead set, eh? Best be ready to go like a clappers, mate. If we stick around, it'll turn into a dog's brekkie in no time. Rue was still somewhat new to the country, and his distinctive language and personality were challenging for most locals to wrap their heads around. It wasn't every day you met someone from so far south, after all. But slowly over time, I found in him a dependable ally, a shoulder to lean on, and someone with an uncanny habit of being there exactly when I needed him the most. We, you say? Are you sure? You don't need to do this, and depending on how things go, this could be dangerous. She'll be right, mate. Go for a row. If things turn to shit, I've got your back, right? But what about... Oi, shut your face for a sec. You've made up your mind, and I've made up mine. You know me. Reckon you can talk me out of it? An understatement, to be sure. I knew better than to waste my time trying to change his mind. Not for a second. Too bloody right, get it through your skull, we're a team, yeah? If you're off to make a bloody shambles, I'm coming to make it twice as big. Not that a mess was the intention, but more so an inevitability. When Glenn was involved, that's just how things were. It was tiring, that much was certain, but you tended to get used to it. You're an idiot for coming along, but I won't say having backup doesn't give me comfort, so thanks, Rue. No worries, mate. I'm a good sort like that, and besides, I don't want to miss the look on his ugly mug when he clicks and figures out what we're up to. Heh, neither do I. I couldn't help but chuckle. Our plan was simple, as all the best plans are. There would be but one concert today, and we knew just how to make sure of it. Oath, mate. That reminds me. Thought I had me a ticket all sorted on the net, but they oversold, and some bloody drongo nicked it first. If I just lobbed up, you reckon I'd get in? I doubt it. The venue has a hard limit, and from the looks of things, that video caused a flurry of last-minute sales. You don't say. Well, ain't that a bitch? The venue ought to be... Chalkers, then. I don't know if, like... I don't understand a single thing he's saying. An inadvertent laugh escaped. Sometimes his choice of words still caught me off guard. Chalkers? Really? Unbelievable. Actually, what does that mean? Okay, so full. Yeah, it'll be chalkers, alright. Ah, well, she'll be right, mate. I'll figure something out, just you wait. There's always a window or something, so when are you planning to get stuck in, do you reckon? Well, there's no time like the present. Let's rip off the band-aid and get this over with. What do you say? Shoot through early, you reckon? Righto, let's get cracking then. He always had my back when it mattered. Was always there when I needed him. Time and time again, Rue was right there with me. Okay, let's try to read that. Let's try and read this. It's funny that we used to call Ro Rue until we found out there was another guy named Rue, so we had to change our Rue's name to Ro to keep from confusing ourselves with this guy being Rue, but Rue is actually the other guy, which is actually named Rue, so we go for Ro. Was that the fucking Kingdom Hearts lore? Was that the fucking Kingdom Hearts lore? But this time was different. This time the stakes were bigger than they'd ever been before. And this time, it was personal. Ooh, what did Glenn do? I must say, that is a splendid look you have going on there, Logan. Though, is it necessary to wear sunglasses inside? Okay, I'm scared, so... Oh, thank God. Oh my... Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Is Logan a fucking bouncer? The two of us had arrived at the venue where we first checked in with Lucas and Jay, who were warming up on stage whilst checking the volume levels on their instruments. This encounter would be a brief one, however, as Lucas informed us of a visitor waiting for us backstage. We soon came face to face with none other than Logan, who patiently awaited our arrival on the green room sofa. Oh, should I take them off? Oh no, not if you do not want to, my dear. The glasses complete your look, though surely you are finding it too dark indoors. Can you see properly? Hang on, let's try that. All the rules of Sora. It's funny how we used to call Xehanort Sora until we found out there was another guy named Sora, so we had to change our Sora's name to Xehanort to keep from confusing ourselves with this guy being Sora. But Sora is actually the other guy, which is actually named Sora, so we go for Xehanort. I can see. I mostly just forgot I was wearing them. No, put them back on. He looks awesome with them on. Logan removed his glasses and folded them safely into his jacket pocket before turning back towards Ty once more with a cheerful grin. There, sorry if that was, rude of me. Was that rude of me? Of course not, my dear. Not even in the slightest. I'm actually glad you've swung by. We were hoping to catch you before your big fight to wish you luck. Indeed, I am certain it will be quite the spectacle. A terrible shame will be tied up here with the concert. Sorry I can't see you play. I really wish I could. I don't know. Why, Logan, why are you so cute? I swear to God, I just want to, like, hug him. I just want to give him a hug. I'm serious. I just want to give Logan a hug. Just... Hang on. Give that man a hug. Is it like a meme? Is it like a meme? Oh God, I hope it is. 3 ways to hug a guy, WikiHow. Okay, let's actually like read this a bit. Okay. This is like an actual thing. This is an actual thing. Start the hug with a gentle touch on the arm, eye contact, or a smile. Whether you're in love or just dating, there is really no wrong way to move in for a hug. So just do it. Wrap your arms around. I'm serious. I just want to give him a hug. That's all that's necessary. Just a single hug because Logan might need it. Nonsense. It is quite alright, my dear. We understand. Yep, and besides, I keep hearing how amazing it is watching you fight. I wish I had an opportunity to watch one. Think you'll compete next year? Maybe we'll both come to cheer you on then instead. Oh, next year? I'm not sure yet. But if I do, I'd love it if you came to watch. Then you can count on us being there, my dear. But don't you want to sign up again next time? You will most likely be defending your title, you know. I don't like fighting much, and I usually tell people I do it for the money, but you guys know that, that's not true. So what's your motivation, then? Toby and me, we used to watch lots of wrestling stuff when we were young. All those martial arts movies. We both joined the mixed martial arts club in our first year of high school. The tournament is... It wasn't around back then, but I know Toby would love it, and they even broadcast the finals on nationwide TV. No matter where he is now, there's a chance, a small one, that he might see me fight, and a plan to win. If I do, maybe he'll reach out? I see. Ty and I shared a knowing and pitiful gaze. Toby was closer than Logan knew, but the grudge Tobias maintained after all these years would likely dash Logan's plans before they could even begin. And that was assuming Tobias even saw the final, on TV or otherwise. He had given no indication that he planned to attend, nor that he was aware of Logan's participation. It wasn't unheard of for people to only attend the finals in these sorts of competitions, but if he was as big a fighting fan as Logan had suggested, I doubted that in Tobias' case. There was also the fact that he had been invited to the concert as well, which could interfere with that possibility. But given that both Diego and I were to be in attendance and how our reunion the previous night had ended, that too seemed rather unlikely. We were powerless to help Logan, as badly as both Ty and I wished to do so, though that aside, I had learned my lesson from the night before. It wasn't our place to interfere. It was best if we stay out of it. What you've said makes perfect sense, but does not really answer the question of why your participation in next year's tournament is in question. Oh, well, I haven't seen him in 4 years. We haven't been friends in 5. For all I know, he could be on the other side of the world these days. I'll never stop hoping, but I think it might be time to stop trying. I'm dumb for wasting so much time trying to get his attention like this as it is. If something was going to happen, it would have already. The sooner I let it go, the sooner I can stop thinking about it, the sooner it'll stop hurting. So that's why. I understand. That cannot be an easy decision to make. I understand what it is like to love someone who is out of your reach. I know personally how awful that feels. Ty was, of course, referring to his relationship with Apollo and the mutual love that remained to this day. How Logan and Ty both felt was something I could only imagine, having not experienced it myself. It's a big part of why I haven't lost my virginity, too. I was scared, just like I said, but I always dreamed it would be Toby. But meeting with Aiden was kinda a big deal, and maybe the first step in moving on, too. Actually, I almost went through with it once before, too. You did? Yeah, there's this app where you can pay someone to do that kind of stuff with you. You mean Prowler, am I right? Uh-huh. Yo. Oh no! Oh god. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. I know exactly what app he's talking about. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god, I know exactly what app he's talking about too. Oh my god. Oh my god. Logan, you precious bean, stay the fuck away from that app. I peered inquisitively at Ty, curious about the nature of his familiarity with this peculiar service. Oh? I can't say I've heard of it. It's a local thing, I think. Indeed, it displays a list of the guys on duty and their prices, both of which vary from night to night based on demand. You prepay via the app, and the person you request comes by when it's your turn. Oh, it isn't that. It isn't that. Okay. A strange thing for Ty to be so knowledgeable about. I made a mental note to find out when we had a moment to find out more when we had a moment to ourselves. That's right. So I'd been trying to work up the courage for a while. I sat for hours on the submit request screen a bunch of times, but I couldn't bring myself to press the button. So there's this thing on Prowler where you can fill out a profile for yourself. You provide details, and you can even provide a photo if you want. You don't have to, but you can. Exactly. I was always too nervous to do it, but this guy in a local chat room told me there was several guys who worked there that would only appear to you as an option if you had a photo, and they liked you. So I did it, but I panicked and took it back down, but not before a new guy appeared on the list I'd never seen before. He was an older Rottweiler, in his 40s maybe, a little gray around the muzzle. Ah yes, that would be none other than Rusty. Eh? Ty seemed oddly familiar with Prowler and its owner. I decided to inject, my curiosity too much to contain. Who's that? Oh? He's the owner of the business. He only takes jobs he is personally interested in. He purchased a failing escort business a year or two back, renaming it Prowler and turning it into what it is today. Lucas and I first met him when he became a roadie for the Black Claws. We were in our mid-20s, so a very long time ago. After that, we just couldn't avoid running into him here, there, and everywhere. If it helps you to visualize, you might think of him as a rival of sorts. Never quite a nemesis, but had a talent for becoming an inconvenience at the least opportune moments. Oh, and as a warning, I would avoid mentioning Rusty and Lucas's presence. Lucas has a more personal distaste for the old Rottweiler. A mere mention is often enough to have him spitting venom. Whoa, advice noted. Now then, where was I? After we fired Rusty for poor attendance, he somehow wound up on the police force, eventually becoming Woodcrest's police chief. Does this Rusty guy just follow the dopamine? He served us more than a few fines for shows that exceeded the maximum allowed volume. Thanks to Glenn, who could never resist turning up the volume, especially his own, reviews on our live show often reflected unfavorably on how loud the bass and vocals compared to everything else. Anyway, Rusty did that for a good while, a decade or so, but as Woodcrest grew, his job began to involve doing actual work, so he retired the moment he was eligible for the law enforcement state pension. I suppose retirement must be rather dull. Oh my god. His comeback was as an entrepreneur, purchasing several businesses, hoping to have them print money for him while he sat back doing very little. He ran 2 of those businesses straight into the ground before his current venture came about, against all odds. He's doing so well that I hear Prowler is becoming available in locations outside Woodcrest. He brought the company into the digital age with all of their services hinging on their app, and the bulk of their staff having the freedom to choose their own hours and clientele. The app is so amazing, it's so smooth and has so many cool features. Whoever made it must be some kind of genius. Hold up. Oh my god. Oh my god. No. So you're kind of your own boss then? Kind of. I answer to Rusty, but he rivals Lucas when it comes to being shit at computers. He trusts me to make decisions and do what I need to. He's happy so long as I keep him apprised. Rusty? Now where have I heard that name before? Heh, or you should ask Lucas, he'll tell you all kinds of stories. He doesn't like old Rusty that much. Ty at least tries to be diplomatic, but I can tell he feels the same way. Let me try turning this down. Oh god. Oh god. I couldn't believe I hadn't realized sooner. Rusty was Tobias's boss, and the genius that designed their app and likely their whole business model was none other than Tobias. Aiden? Making eye contact with Ty, he leered back at me before subtly shaking his head. He had obviously figured out what my stunned expression had meant, and was warning me to keep my mouth shut. It made perfect sense. Giving away Tobias's place of work would lead Logan right to him. Something that would not go down well with him at all, and likely only serve to make the situation much worse. It also made perfect sense why Tobias had been somewhat cagey with the specifics of his employment. Working for an escort agency is hardly something to be proud of. Though from what I had heard, Tobias had every reason to be proud if he was indeed the mastermind behind the business's success. And it was not like he provided those sorts of services himself, right? I decided I would ponder those details another time, nodding in Ty's direction as confirmation of my understanding before turning my focus back to Logan, who would continue telling his story. I didn't know he was the owner. Wow, he only meets with people he likes? That's right. As the owner, he is under no obligation to do any of the escort work himself. But old Rusty? He simply cannot help himself. We've known him for a long time now, but as the saying goes, the more things change, the more they stay the same, right? Precisely right, my love. Well, wow, I took his fancy. Indeed you did. Well, anyway, I thought he was hot, so I finally did it. I requested him. What happened when he got there? Same thing. I was too nervous, but he was nice like you were. He just spent time with me. I found it easier to talk to him because, I guess because he was there for work and I'd paid him already. I guess that somehow made me less nervous around him or something. Actually, what does Rusty look like? Let me, jump into the game files real quick. I'm kind of curious what this fuck looks like. Downloads. Well, shit, guess he isn't in the files. Aw. Aw, sad. I told him about Toby and that I was sick of waiting to lose my virginity. He told me I should wait and do it with someone I trust. Someone who cares and has my best interests at heart. A little while after he left, I saw that he'd refunded the whole amount I'd paid. That's when I realized I trusted him and he had my best interests at heart. He stayed on my app after that. I kept wanting to request him again to follow through, but I felt ashamed of telling him I felt that way about him, so I never did. And in the end, I met Aiden. He was really kind to me too, and he was prepared to leave without having done anything if it was the right thing to do. When you went to leave, it just felt like it did with Rusty. I remembered my regret, I spoke up, and it finally happened. And I don't regret that one bit. Thanks, Aiden. Aw, it was my pleasure, Logan. Literally, it really was. But I am glad to hear you still stand by that decision. I do. Anyway, my point was, that was kind of my first step towards just leaving Toby in the past. And I've decided that if I fight again next year, it'll be for me, and not because of him. I'm sick of being stuck in the past. Sick of missing out on so much because I'm waiting for him. You guys helped me see that. What we did the other night never would have happened if I wasn't trying to move on. I take it you have no regrets there either? Nope, it was so much fun, but I think I prefer it when it's just two people. It's more intimate that way. I don't know, it's really fun no matter what though. I understand how you feel, and it sure is, my dear, it sure is. Damn right, I sure won't be forgetting any of it anytime soon. I'm really glad we gave it a go. As am I, my love. Me too. Either way, it seems to me you have thought long and hard about your motivations and how they have influenced past decisions. Fighting because it is what you want is the right call, and certainly one we shall respect. If we do not have the chance to see you fight, we will be happy that you made that decision for the right reasons. Aiden mentioned, weren't you originally going to take part this year? Why did you pull out? Indeed, and I withdrew because my ex-partner, he was the organizer for the tournament. He enjoyed watching my fights the previous year, which is why I originally signed up again this year. He and we separated a little over a month ago now. I remained enrolled right up until the last minute, uncertain about whether I wanted to participate or not. In the end, I met Aiden and decided I had a better way to spend that time, with him. Really? You quit for me? You never said. Didn't I? I could have sworn. Perhaps you are right, I apologize. Nonetheless, I'm glad I've been able to spend less time training and more time with you, my love. Aw, so am I. You guys are so cute. Ty is, maybe, but definitely not me. You both are. Is it okay if I ask you about something? Shoot, my dear. For my next book, I wanted to write a love story. I write erotic stuff from time to time, but I never get to focus on the characters or their relationships. You guys, you really inspire me to try. So would it be okay if I based characters and their relationship on the two of you? I would change the names and all the details, of course, but I want to capture what you guys have, just on paper. Oh my, what a request. Well, Aiden, how do you feel about that? Are you kidding? I still can't believe you're Lewis Townsend. It would be such an honor. Tremendous. Then I too would be honored, my dear. Yay, thank you. Would it be okay if we met up from time to time so I can ask you guys questions and stuff? Of course, we're running the bar together these days, so chances are we'll both be there, and you can just drop in. Indeed, and there will be free food and beverages on offer, to ensure you remain properly hydrated and focused on your research, on the house. Wow, free food? Thanks, you guys. You ought to meet Diego one of these days. I have a feeling you two have a few things in common. Whenever you're feeling up to meeting someone new, of course. Alright then. It's getting kinda late, and I wanted to warm up and get some practice before I fight, so I think I might head off for now. Of course, my dear. Of course, there's no need to explain. We understand. Thank you for swinging by. It has been lovely seeing you. Sure has. Best of luck in your fight. Give that stupid lizard a good smack. Or 10. Indeed, I dare say his ego could use it. Yep, he's gonna get it. Thanks, guys. Bye. Damn it, Logan. Stop being so fucking cute. Good luck, my dear. Until next time. See ya. With that, Logan made his exit, disappearing through the green room door and heading for the main entrance of the venue. As soon as he was out of earshot, Ty turned towards me and made a statement he had clearly been dying to make ever since our arrival. There was something rather odd about Logan's choice of attire. I felt the strangest sense of deja vu. Did you feel it too? What? No, I didn't. What do you mean, deja vu? Worry not, my love. I fear it is simply stress taking its toll. Are you okay, Ty? Oh, yes, of course I am, my love. I apologize if I have worried you. I am a touch frazzled, but that is all. Oh, is it time for sound check already? Come, Aiden, let us reconvene with the others out front. Sounds good to me. Lead on, you sexy cat, you. Oh my, perhaps I should reconsider, lest this be a ploy to gaze longingly upon my along my precious glutes from behind. Gaze? Uh, I'll certainly hope not. Our playful banter continued back and forth as we made our departure from the green room en route to the venue's main stage. We traveled, shamelessly flirting with each and every step until our path intersected with that of Dom, who emerged from beneath the stage coated with dust, meeting our approach with an uncharacteristic scowl. This caught the both of us completely off guard, our banter silenced in an instant as we gazed back at Dom, unable to comprehend just what we might have done to deserve such an unfriendly greeting. Not a word was spoken. Dom merely continued to leer at us from where he stood as we reached the top of the hallway and made our escape from that short-lived yet distinctly uncomfortable encounter. Add that to the list of universe gone wrong. Proof that the universe is going to end. Add that to the list, please. Dom scowling at us. Like, he gets, like, pissed off from time to time, but he never, like, just goes, like, I'm going to fucking kill you. Eric, what'd you do this time? What? Me? What do you... Oh, you must have run into old Grumpy Pants down there, huh? Wait, why did you just jump straight to blaming me? In Aiden's defense, you are not usually the culprit when Dom is in one of his moods. Sorry, I read that wrong. Are you not usually the culprit when Dom is in one of his moods? Okay. Aiden. Okay. Okay, all of them connected. Aiden. Diego, Axel, Dom, Ty, Lucas, Tobias. Lucas, Ty, Apollo, Eric, Glenn. Ty, Lucas, Apollo, Glenn, Aiden. Axel, Dom, Russell, Eric. Jay, Summit, Logan. Eric, Logan. Aiden, Tobias, Ty. Tobias, Aiden, Diego, Rusty. Apollo, Ty, Aiden, Lucas. All of them connect somehow and seemingly all day. They all somehow connect to us. Well, yeah, I'll grant you that. But this time, I had nothing to do with it. I didn't, honestly. He was already like that when he got here. I'm actually curious. Who pissed off Dom? I guess someone beat me to the punch, and now we've got a resident cave troll. No, wait. A stage troll. Come on. You know that was a good one. You're killing it, Eric. Yeah, at least someone appreciates real comedy. I shrugged in ultimate concession. After all, his emergence from beneath the stage could indeed be accurately described as troll-like. Alas, that didn't answer the question of why Dom was in a bad mood. Eric's telling the truth, though. Dom was already here when Eric and I arrived, and so was that mighty sour mood of his. Whatever he's so salty about, he's not saying a word about it to us. Eric, are you gossiping again? Peh? I didn't do nothing. Why does everyone keep automatically assuming I did something? Well, that's because usually you have. Yeah, I take pride in my status as a resident rodent rascal. The what? You heard me. So actually, boss man, Aiden and Ty had a run-in with our resident stage troll. We were just catching him up to speed on what we know. You know, all that nothing. You'd better hope Dom doesn't hear you calling him that. Have you spoken with him, Lucas? Do you know what has him so wild? Only bits and pieces, I'm afraid. Nothing that paints a clear picture. I tried to send him home, but whatever it is, he'd rather be here. Rather be distracted from it. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's probably about Axel. So he's doing cable management and cleanup from beneath the stage. Honestly, none of that is even really necessary. The stage work is done, but Dom ain't going nowhere, and neither is our resident rodent rascal. Damn right, and I'm not moving an inch until I see a bomb-ass rock show. Well, I think we can handle that, right, gentlemen? Just so long as you realize you're not getting paid for this, Eric. Oh, yes I am. Watching you three hunks get all sweaty under those stage lights is the best kind of payment I could ask for. So that's why you kept adding more lights. Well, not entirely, but the thought had crossed my mind. Huh, someone is calling. Excuse me for a moment, you guys. Hello? Hey, Aiden, I know you're probably busy with the concert and shit, but, do you think you can duck out for a bit? It'd have to be for a damn good reason. It's not that long now until they open the doors. Well, dude, one good reason coming up then. I'm here with Tobias. He wants to talk, to address last night, and to explain himself. All that shit. But he says it's a long-ass story and he doesn't want to tell it twice, dude. Well, shit, you should have just said so. It can't take too long, though. There's only about an hour or so until the show starts, and I don't want to miss a second. Neither do I, dude. So if the damn monkey takes too long, we'll just ditch his ass. Sound good? Ow, hey, keep your weird bald-ass hands to yourself. Better hurry, man. He's all impatient and feisty. Where am I supposed to meet you guys? Roland Park, not far from you. The bench close to the road. That's where he's holding me Ow, cut that shit out already. Jeez. I'll be there real soon. Try not to let him kill you before I get there. Pah, won't be hard. He slaps like a bit. Ow, fuck off already. Jeez. Oh god. Returning my phone to my pocket, I looked up to Ty's inquisitive gaze as he asked me a question. Going somewhere, my dear? Yeah, sorry, Ty. I promise I'll be back before the show begins. It's Tobias. He wants to talk about what happened last night. I can't believe it. Whatever do you mean? Not only did he contact me for advice, but it seems as though he's taken it as well. These fucking flashbacks. Is this also what pisses Dom off? You genuinely knocked it out of the park tonight, Lucas. Just wanted you to know that. I'll leave you to your thoughts now. What the ever-loving fuck do we keep saying, Lucas? What the ever-loving fuck do we keep saying, Lucas? Wipe that goddamn smile off your face, Lucas. Or I swear to God, wait, do I have a stick lying around here? Let me... Or I swear to God, we're going to be poking your dead body with a stick. We are going to poke your dead body with a stick, Lucas, if you don't wipe that goddamn smile off your face. I appreciate it. Catch you tomorrow, boss. He isn't fucking listening. He isn't listening. And his eyes are closed. Fuck, I don't have a murder weapon on me. Blissful silence at last. From dawn till dusk, I'd endured the constant whine of power tools, the incessant buzz of improperly grounded amplifiers, and twice the usual lovey-dovey mushy nonsense, courtesy of the newly minted couple. I was used to it all, mind you, and with the exception of a few of Eric's more elaborate and often ridiculous attempts at flirtation, the day had largely gone by without a hitch, at least for me at least. But now, I could bask in the soothing calmness of a job well done, if only weren't undermined by creeping dread which manifested from the omnipresent threat of Glenn's schemes. And to make matters worse, his plan was still shrouded in mystery. And considering the possibilities, my imagination was running wild, feeding my anxiety with our inherent fear of the unknown. Maybe not as blissful as I'd hoped. I shivered slightly as the late-night chill nibbled voraciously at every last inch of exposed skin it could find, par for the course after dark and mid-fall. Oh well, the sooner I finish up here, You have got to be kidding me! What began as an initial sense of frustration gave way to shock and disbelief as I stared at the contact card belonging to the caller. Tobias. I knew between his anxiety and his pride the chances of him calling me for help were slim, to say the least, but all the same I would stop at nothing to be there when I was needed most. Do you need to talk? I can be home in around 10 minutes. Huh? But how did you... You wouldn't normally be caught dead in a voice call, which is how I know this is serious. Yeah. I'll see you soon then. Okay, see you soon. I always wished there was more I could do for Tobias, but he constantly refused assistance, insisting on going it alone. So on those rare opportunities that I could help in some way, I made certain that nothing would get in my way. And it seems like he listened to what I had to say as well. I'm proud of him. God damn it, Lucas. What the fuck do we keep saying, Lucas? What the fuck do we keep saying, Lucas? And it seems like he listened to what I had to say as well. I'm proud of him. But I've done all I can. What happens next, that's between the three of you. So, good luck, Aiden. Indeed, my love. Best of luck. We will be here when you return. Thanks, you guys. See you soon. And so I made my departure from the venue, briskly walking toward the park nearby where the three of us had agreed to meet. Our falling out the night before had been unpleasant, to say the least, but the prospect of losing a friend, especially one so recently regained, was a prospect I found far worse. If it meant the three of us could be friends again, just like old times, a little discomfort seemed like a small price to pay. If only I knew a way to convince Tobias to think about his circumstances with Logan in the same way. Oh no. I'm just going to hide that screen because I don't know what's going to pop up. Woo! Home, finally. The throbbing ache for my thighs and calves was then a needed reminder of the day's grueling work. Not that I wasn't used to it, and it was nothing a good night's rest wouldn't mend. And just as well, I'd be needing both my legs tomorrow for our big comeback gig. Like hell I was going to be upstaged by that cheating kangaroo, using his tail to operate an extra pedal. A skilled drummer makes do with only 2 feet. And don't get me started on what it's like with hooves. I tossed my keys in a dessert bowl I'd set up on a surplus cabinet in the foyer, a good habit that prevented me from misplacing them, which for a while had become one of my bad habits. I stiffly ambled into the living room where our favorite recliner stood in all her glory. There was nothing I wanted more than to relax and take the weight off my nagging muscles, which is why my blood ran cold on seeing my beloved chair so brazenly occupied by another. My brow flinched and twitched with irritation as I locked eyes with my competition. He knew it was my chair. Mine. I knew full well how stubborn he could be, but there was no way in hell I was going down without a fight. How many times do we have to do this before you learn? He peered back entirely undeterred, before stretching his spindly legs while unleashing an overdramatic yawn. Damn it, Huxley! Meow. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Seems like It's a fucking cat! It's a fucking cat! I'm done. You smug little meow. It was just as Ty would say to me, "We cats are laws unto ourselves, my dear. We will do exactly as we please, and you will be grateful for our company." True enough, Huxley's persistence was second only to that of a second stubborn simian. Though unlike Huxley, Tobias was that way for a reason. Huxley was just a damn cat. Every beast has her weakness, and Huxley was no exception, and there was something he desired much more than his precious perch atop my chair. Hey, Hux. Meow? Guess what time it is? Meow? Oh no, I'm not going to bed yet. Meow. I know I'm home late. It's called being an adult, Hux. You'd know that if you helped with bills every once in a while. Meow. Oh, forget it. I'm not mad at you. I'm kidding. Mostly. Meow. How about some dinner, eh, Hux? What do you think? Meow. I knew you'd like the sound of that. Now, you know where your bowl is? Should we go get... I think we can forgive Lucas smiling in this sense because he's talking to a cat, and honestly, who doesn't smile when they talk to a cat? I knew you'd like the sound of that. Now, you know where your bowl is. Should we go get it? Meow, meow, meow. Come on, then. Meow. Huxley sprang to his feet and leaped forth, landing mere inches from my right hoof. He then made certain to lean his entire body against my calf, rubbing the entire length of his body against my lower leg on his way past. With that done and dusted, he eagerly trotted out of the living room where he disappeared around the corner to the kitchen and out of sight. Sucker. Of course, the worst thing I could have done was to hype him up and not actually feed him. I knew from experience he would make my life a misery until I finally caved in and fed him. If only it put an end to the torment he would otherwise inflict. His meal would keep him occupied for a while, long enough at least to get myself comfortable. On my way back, I took a moment to light the fireplace, hoping to take the slight chill off the mid-autumn air. Once ignited, I turned back towards my beloved recliner, eager to take my spot once and for all. Now this is paradise. At long last, I stuck into the comfort of my favorite chair. My overworked muscles tingled from exhaustion as I raised the footrest and reclined backwards. Even the seat is still warm. Thanks, Hux, you really shouldn't have. I closed my eyes, soaking up the warmth of the fire as the tension in my muscles slowly melted away. Could have fallen asleep. Hell, I almost did. Until... Are you shitting me? Who the... Oh, Tobias. Shit, that's right. I hadn't forgotten. Of course I hadn't forgotten. Oh, forget it. I reluctantly parted with endless comfort of my soft, cozy chair before heading down the hallway towards the front door. And as I had expected, a troubled-looking macaque was sitting for me on the opposite side. I invited him inside and closed the door behind him before making a beeline back to the living room to reclaim the comfort I had lost. Take a seat. Anywhere is fine so long as it isn't my favorite chair. Oh, don't worry. I'm brave, but I'm not that brave. I'm not that scary, am I? You? You're like a big cuddly teddy bear. It's Huxley I wouldn't want to mess with. And it looks like he beat you to it again, old man. What are you... I turned towards the recliner, and sure enough, there sat Huxley, purring and patting with a smug look of satisfaction on his evil little face. Damn it, Hux! You A-grade asshole! Meow. Let's see that.
Self-voicing enabled. Lucas, damn it Hux, you A-grade asshole. Self-voicing disabled.
Ouch, damn it, put your damn claws away. Grr. Fine, you can sit on my lap. But if you put your damn claws on my leg or anything else for that matter, you'll be sorry. Got that? Meow. Okay, quick thought. Okay, so, like, cat lady, we know who we're talking about, the cat lady. Okay, so we have, like, a cat lady with Lucas's face. I think I might make that later, because it sounds amazing. At long last, it appeared the war between myself and Huxley had finally drawn to a close, with both parties compromising to share the seat. If only politicians could be so diplomatic. Purr. Damn, and here I thought you were just turning into some crazy old cat dad, but after that, you give pussy whipped a whole new meaning. If I remember correctly, you were rather pussy whipped yourself when you were last living here. Was not. Then what do you call waking me at 3 in the morning to fish him out of your sleeping bag so he can't keep biting your toes? Try fond memories. Not so fond at the time. Not at all, but isn't hindsight great? This is... Oh my god! I think they might... Hang on, are they going to do Lucas's route next? I genuinely hope they do. Let me search this. Itch.io. It's Sileo. No, I genuinely hope that they do Lucas's route next. Though we might actually wait a bit until there's like a metric fuck ton of content for Lucas's route. I have a question. Check out our FAQ. Okay, I'm going to check out the FAQ. We anticipate that ties will be completed within the first half of 2022. We are targeting June at this stage. After which development on one of Diego's tales. Day 3 continuation of his route where we will visit his hometown and meet his family. As one of our patrons once time runs, Aww. We might not see Lucas's route for a while. If you say so, I have to deal with this chaotic little monster every single day. That's why I like him so much. I miss watching you two squabble. It was the highlight of those few months staying here with you. Next time you can stay on the streets, and you can take Hux here with you. Now we both know you couldn't follow through with that. I hate that you're right. Okay, you know that meme where it's like, Dad doesn't want dog, family gets dog anyway, Dad and dog. I feel like that's like Lucas and Huxley. Tobias cackled, acting almost as smugly as the damn cat, but as irritated as I was, Tobias was only here because something had happened, and he wouldn't have called me if it wasn't something serious. But just because he had done so didn't mean he wasn't nervous discussing those sorts of things, and one of Tobias's many talents was his ability to distract everyone, himself included, from tough conversations. As much as I enjoy your energy, I guess, of our talks, maybe now would be a good time to talk about what happened and why you're here. Oh my god, he does act like Squidward. Sounds about as fun as hot sauce supposit. Oh wow, gee, thanks, devs of Sileo. I very much enjoy the Jackass reference. They made a fucking Jackass reference. They made a fucking Jackass reference. Sounds about as fun as a hot sauce suppository, but I know you can't help until I just do it. Talk, I mean, not the whole hot sauce thing. You'd be leaving scorch marks in your tidy whities for weeks. No, like, there's like a scene in Jackass where they like shove. I swear to God, Jackass is literally just 10 guys shoving random shit up their asses. But no, like, in Jackass, like the most recent one, like the documentary sort of one, Jackass 4.5. I don't know if it's in the actual movie, I haven't seen it. In Jackass 4.5, they, they shove funnels up their asses and proceed to pour hot sauce into the funnels. And, yeah, that is a fucking Jackass reference. What? No, on second thought, don't elaborate. Instead, how about you tell me what happened tonight? I assume this all has something to do with your meeting with Aiden and Diego. Oh, well, shit, it's kind of warm in here, huh? Let me just, hang on. Tobias quickly began undressing, starting by removing his beanie, but I knew full well this was simply a diversion. Him stalling to avoid the discomfort of discussing the topic at hand for as long as possible. You're stalling again. You're not making this any easier on yourself. If anything, you're making it worse. What? You're right. This is why I trust you with this sort of thing. You call me on my bullshit. It is kind of hot in here, though. Let me use the hoodie. That's better. Right, so... I hate this. You know, talking about feelings and stuff. You're always trying to do everything by yourself. You wouldn't have asked me if it wasn't serious, or you didn't really need the help. Yeah, it's one of those things that I thought it was over a long time ago. But then out of nowhere, it slaps me in the face. And I realized I just ignored it, like I was trying to will it out of existence. I don't know what was going to do with it anymore. Made a complete fool of myself tonight. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't ready for it. Just all this unpleasant shit came flooding back, and Tobias, you're getting ahead of yourself. Why not start by telling me what it is? Right, sorry, those guys, Diego and Aiden? Yeah, they know Logan, somehow. Wait, Logan is... Remember that polar bear I used to be friends with? I know, I've been hearing his name a fair bit lately. I just never connected the dots. Never realized he was that Logan. Yeah, well, he is, and after all these years, that idiot, he hasn't forgotten about me, like he should have. You know, you never told me the full story. Didn't tell me much at all, honestly. I only know bits and pieces. I can't give you good advice without a full understanding of the situation. You understand, right? Right. I know it won't be easy. Take as long as you need, but I need to know if I'm to help you. I understand, but I've never told anyone. I haven't even thought about it in a long time. Don't tell anyone, okay? It's personal. Of course, nothing you say here leaves this room. You have my word. Thanks. That goes for you, too. You hear me, Hux? Meow? Not a word. Meow. Good. You know how Huxley is with strangers. Unless Ty secretly speaks house cat, I think your secret is safe. Oh, that reminds me. Ty is seriously dating a dude half his age? Old Tiger still has the moves, it seems. But isn't that weird? You guys are the same age. Wouldn't you feel weird dating a guy in his early 20s? Maybe at first. I'm sure I'd get used to it. Seriously? Something you'll discover when you reach my age is that being 40 feels no different to being 20. Except for a few extra aches and pains. It isn't like younger me just stopped being attractive to you. It's just that you gradually become more mature, then discover you have more in common with men in your age group. Kids these days are spouting all kinds of nonsense, and I don't have the energy to engage with it anymore. But they're not all like that. Ty and Aiden, they're quite different, sure, but there's an undeniable connection between them. And as old and stuffy as Ty can be, Aiden seems to enjoy that about him. And Ty, I think he enjoys the challenge of keeping up. Huh. I mean, he is a good-looking guy, not just for his age, but, maybe it's weirder to me because I've known him since I was a kid. Back when he was cool with his motorbike and his mohawk. Back when he was cool? Boy, if he heard you saying that. Well, I say, good sir, I will have it be known I am still very much fresh, as the trendy youth so love to proclaim. Seriously, when the hell did that start? He talked pretty normally before I left for uni. Oh god, does Huxley love lasagna and hate Mondays? And is he going to secretly murder Lucas for hiding a Monday in his lasagna? Around the time he met his ex-boyfriend, a while ago now, you wouldn't have known him, but he spoke the same way. Ty took a liking to it and adopted similar mannerisms himself. Gotcha. Jeez, how old was the guy he was dating? Sounds as though he was knocking around 200 years ago. Don't be silly, that's impossible. Yeah, you know, come to think of it, Rusty pulls some pretty young guys too. Maybe getting old isn't all doom and gloom, eh? I wouldn't follow any example he's setting. I know, you don't like him, you don't need to remind me. I just don't trust him, Tobias. I don't trust he has your best interests at heart. I don't trust he's going to do right by you in the long run. You don't, but I do. He's a good person, Lucas. Oh, that's right, because, like, in the comics, Garfield, I don't know what Garfield does. I don't know. You don't, but I do. He's a good person, Lucas. He isn't. Not the Rusty I know. He's out for himself. Always has been. No, I don't think Huxley hates Lucas. But people can change, Lucas. Look at Ty. He's a totally different person to whom he used to be, right? No, sure, he's reinvented himself and his image more than once, but deeper down, he's the same kid I grew up with. And you would say the same about me, only grumpier or something like that. Can't disagree with that. Don't agree with him. You're just proving him right. Look, I know you guys have history, but he's changed, Lucas. Honest. He's been nothing but great to me. He's given me so many opportunities. Opportunities like the time he got Ty started on his drug habit. Wait, what? Seriously? Seriously, how he ended up chief of police a decade on is a mystery to me. Guess he never got caught, but years before, he was in with a dangerous crowd. Hold on, Ty told me himself that when we first met him, he was a roadie in your band. That's the story he tells, yes, and can you blame him? It's not exactly light conversation. No, I guess, but... And you know what Ty said to me when we hired him? He's changed, Lucas, I swear. Oh my god. Sure, he was clean himself by then, but he was still rotten as they come. On paper, we fired him for poor attendance, but we are 99% sure to this very day he was pawning some of our gear. Wow. And for some completely insane reason, Ty has chosen forgiveness. But I made a decision long ago that I would never forgive all he did. And even if he really has changed, it's too little too late for me. But I know you won't listen. So just do me a favor, alright? Watch your back closely. One day he'll turn on you. Don't let him get the better of you. Don't let him screw you over as he did with Ty and me, okay? Alright. Good, that's all I ask. Do you really think he's a bad person, Lucas? He was, I know that much. And even if he has changed, it's too late to undo all the terrible things he once did. Even if you can't change the past, you can still make up for it now, though, right? It's never too late to make things right. Really? What about you and Logan, then? Is it too late to make things right between the two of you? What? But I... Tobias went silent as he pondered what I'd said. I knew little about the opportunities Rusty was giving Tobias, and much less about their relationship. All the same, if Tobias thought I should have an open mind about Rusty, then I didn't see why he couldn't do the same for Logan. But life just wasn't that simple. He knew that, and so did I. Oh, nah. Lucas, you can't just have an open mind about Rusty. You have to have an open mind about technology, my dude. Because, like, Lucas, you are a fucking idiot when it comes to technology. I swear to God, it's hilarious. Meow. What is it, Hux? He says quit stalling. I thought saying that was your job, old man. And I've said it so many times already that Huxley is covering me while I take a break. Tired already. Must be getting old, eh, Lucas? Only as old as your stalling has become. Touche, I guess. So me and Logan, take your time. That's what I was doing. You know what I meant. Yeah, so from the beginning, I guess, just in case you're coming down with Alzheimer's or something. We first met in preschool, same class in our first year of elementary, and several times throughout. He was my best friend then and continued to be my best friend until the very end. I'd go to his house a lot during weekends, and we'd binge his collection of wrestling tapes and other cool stuff. He even had some wrestling video games. That was a big part of our childhood, as silly as it seems. Went into high school together, as you'd expect when Woodcrest only has one high school. We were the only familiar faces in an entirely unfamiliar environment, so we stuck together as though our lives depended on it. I remember what that was like. Ty and I were the same, at least in the beginning before things happened. The particulars are different, but it's still a bizarre coincidence how we share so many of our experiences in common. Only difference is that you and Ty got a happy ending. We didn't. We got... meow. We were... meow? Were... meow. Hux? Shh. Meow. Huxley, come on, man. Talking about all this is hard enough without you weighing in, too. Meow. Okay. So here's the thing. Puberty is a bitch, and I skipped straight over the whole crush stage and fell head over heels in love with Logan before I even knew what was happening. And you remember how he was. When he was nervous or scared, he'd just lock up and become totally silent. I tried to talk to him about my feelings, or I suppose I more tried to talk to him about his. I wanted to know if the feelings were mutual, but my attempts at the topic were met with silence. We hadn't discussed that stuff before, and I didn't even know if he was into guys, even though it was a safe bet. I was almost terrified that if I pushed the matter, I'd risk ruining our friendship. Without blowing my cover, I tried to sound him out. I hoped he might offer some kind of clue. I know I dropped a ton of my own. I know, I'm slowly getting used to Lucas's smile. As time went on without any progress, I got frustrated. Some days, Logan was all I could think about, occupying my every thought and filling me with a sense of longing. I'm sure you could tell, too, I wasn't subtle. The longer this went on, the more frustrated I got, the angrier I became. So when this other friend of mine asked me out, I was just like, fuck it, why not? Not like anything was happening with Logan, right? And Logan just stops talking to me, starts avoiding me. I'd go to the spot where we'd always meet for lunch and he wouldn't be there. If I found him, it'd be somewhere I'd never think to look, and he'd be there all alone. I tried talking to him about it, but he won't say a damn thing, and that broke my heart. He's been my best friend pretty much my entire life, and all of a sudden, it was like he hated me, and I had no clue as to why. As time went on, I started to feel betrayed as well. I grew bitter, and I hate to admit it, but the other guy, my boyfriend at the time, I resented him. Like all of it was somehow his fault, and I treated him real bad. He didn't deserve any of it. He did nothing wrong, and he was nothing but good to me. I guess I was only dating him as a proxy for Logan in the first place, or some stupid shit like that. I just never felt that way about him. I never should have said yes. Eventually, he broke up with me. He should have done it far sooner. He deserved so much better, and in all this, I felt nothing. Just cold indifference. And as I was sitting by myself in the usual spot the very next day, it caught me completely off guard when Logan actually turned up with flowers and wasted no time asking me out on the spot. I should have been happy, but after everything I'd endured up until that point, after all the bullshit, I just exploded with anger. I completely lost it. I screamed at him, called him names. I still remember the look on his face. God, it haunts me. I used to have nightmares where I'd see him standing there, clutching those flowers with tears streaming from his eyes. You made Logan cry? You made Logan cry? That's it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, you monkey bitch. Let's take this outside. In all my life, I'd never known Logan to hold a grudge, never known him to be bitter, but after that I saw it firsthand. Of course, I deserved it too. Why do you think he did that? Why do you think he asked you out then specifically? Because he liked me all along, he just never had the courage to tell me. And because he felt as though he'd already lost me once, he wasn't going to let it happen again. Did he tell you that himself? No, but he was my best friend all my life. As soon as I calmed down and began putting the shattered pieces back together, I knew. But you can't just undo something like that. No amount of apologies can change that it happened. And even though I felt regret over my reaction, it didn't change why I was so angry in the first place. And I still was. And now, so was he. And he had every right to be. And anytime we crossed paths after that, well, it wasn't pretty. There was usually yelling. One time, I even threw a punch, and that mistake I quickly learned to never repeat. I guess he learned a thing or two from all those wrestling vids. I never stood a chance. Eventually, we graduated. I think the thing I was happiest about was that I no longer had to worry about the possibility of crossing paths with him every day. That was the summer I turned 18, remember? I had to leave the orphanage and had nowhere to go, so I wound up here with you. I'll take this monkey bitch right now. I remember you wore my VCR with all those damn wrestling videos. VHS was an ancient format even back then. The way I see it, I was doing you a favor. Besides, the orphanage never had a VCR. I got those tapes cheap from the local video rental store closed down. This was after the fight, and you wouldn't have been able to buy VCRs in stores for a good long while. So I guess I should be glad you're a technophobic old dinosaur, eh? I didn't want to repurchase my collection again. Besides, there's nothing wrong with VHS. Oof, it physically pains me to hear you say that, you poor, uneducated soul. But yeah, I'd applied and been accepted for university, but that wasn't due to start for another few months. I had the entire summer with nothing to do but time to kill. So to do that, I watched a lot of those old wrestling tapes. And that kind of turned out to be a mistake because it just dredged up so much nostalgia and so many happy memories and pain. Pain for what I'd lost, for who I'd lost. And when the VCR broke, I had long days with literally nothing to do but dwell on my past. I had the sense of longing, but not for the tapes I'd yet to watch. Instead, I longed for the person who would have loved watching them with me. You know, if things had been different. I was still angry, still bitter of course, but how much I missed him trumped all of that. So that summer, I plucked up my courage and sent him a message. Luckily, I still remembered his chat handle. I said a lot, but ultimately, I told him I wanted to bury the hatchet, forget all the bullshit, and start over fresh. I asked him if his parents still had a VCR, and if so, I had a massive collection of wrestling videos, all from back when we were kids, and I couldn't think of anybody I'd rather watch them with. I felt good about it when I sent that message. I thought I'd said all the right things. If things had been the other way around, and he'd sent that message to me, there's no way I would have been able to resist. But I never heard back. He just ignored me. I poured my heart out to him. If I heard back, I planned to cancel going to university and everything, but I didn't. And before I knew it, it was time for me to move to Sidonia. It had been a while since I sent that message, and I had lots of time to process the fact that he hadn't replied, not that it made it any easier. I realized by then how much he'd meant to me, and knowing that he wanted nothing to do with me, it hurt so fucking bad. We were friends for more than a decade. We'd had each other's backs through thick and thin. But after all of that, after everything we'd been through, he couldn't bring himself to try putting things right, as if it all meant nothing. I felt betrayed all over again. The anger and hate I felt came flooding back with a vengeance. But I was moving away. I thought that I would never have to see him again. Never need to hear his name again. I would never even need to think about him ever again. I took this bold leap into the unknown, and all of a sudden I was surrounded by new people and doing new things. It helped keep my mind off the past. Not that I could help it from time to time, but as time went on, it got easier, and that's where the story ends. Or at least I thought so until an hour or so ago, and I guess in a way, that approach did work. It's just, I didn't plan on coming back here, and I never expected I would have anything to do with him ever again. When it started over, I deleted all my old handles and started fresh with those as well, and that was a big part of why. So that's why you deleted me on my journal. Is Lucas talking about MySpace? This motherfucker uses MySpace. Yo, Lucas uses MySpace. This motherfucker uses MySpace. Oh my god. No, he's talking about Facebook. He's either talking about MySpace or Facebook. My journal? I just straight up deleted that shit. These days, the only people left on there are old people. He's talking about Facebook. Makes sense why you still have one, eh? Is that how you and Ty share your recipes for, scones? Not a chance. I don't share my recipe with anyone, not even Ty. Oh my god. Lucas even acts like an old man. I'm done. I'm fucking done. Really? Huh, I was only... forget it. Anyway, now you know the full story. And before you say anything, I know I screwed up big time. You don't need to beat me up over it. Believe me, I've done plenty of that myself. The worst part is, I know exactly why he did what he did. I know exactly what he was thinking and how he was feeling. But I didn't figure out until it was already far too late. I was such an asshole. It isn't your responsibility to be a mind reader, Tobias. Regardless of how well you knew him, it was his responsibility to communicate better with you. You should never have needed to guess what he was thinking. I know, but I get it, you know? It's really hard talking about that sort of stuff. It was hard for me too. Hell, it's been hard tonight just talking about it in the past. And this was a long time ago. He was young. And so were you. You both made mistakes, both could have done things in a better way, but I won't beat you up over it. And neither should you. It helps nobody. Yeah, you're right, it doesn't, but sometimes I just can't help myself. I understand. So tonight, you said that Aiden and Diego know him, and you said that he hadn't forgotten about you, correct? Well, it was mostly Aiden talking. Diego didn't say much. Hearing Logan's name was unpleasant, though. But then, Aiden told me that Logan wants to reconnect. That's good, isn't it? No! What fucking right does he have, thinking he can reconnect after all this time like nothing ever happened? It's been nearly 4.5 years since I sent that message. 4.5 years. He had his chance. It was his choice to squander it. Hell, he had his chance to date me too. If he wasn't such a fucking coward, none of this would have happened in the first place. The amount of pain he's put me through, the sleepless nights, the nightmares, the fucking doubts and uncertainties. It got easier with time, sure, but he's haunted me to this very day all the same. You were once willing to start over and put the past behind you. Yeah, once. Like I said, he had his chance. Now, it's too late. Way, way too late. Fuck him. Fuck him, man. All he had to do was say yes. He just had to say something. And if he had, I wouldn't have had to spend the past 4.5, no, almost 6 years now, missing a piece of myself. A piece of yourself? I thought that the space left behind, I thought it would begin to fill back in, given time, but it never has. It's still as empty as it was the day I lost him. They say time heals all wounds, but I know that's nothing but a stupid lie. You just get better at hiding it, at ignoring it, and pretending nothing's wrong, going about your life pretending to be whole. You have an opportunity to fill that void, and yet you truly don't want to? I hate him, Lucas. I really, really hate him. For all the shit he put me through, and I hate myself. For being the one who started it all and lost my best friend in the first place. For treating my ex the way I did and losing him as a friend too. And for probably losing Aiden and Diego as friends tonight. But as for Logan right now, it's been hard all these years since. I prefer to think everything I've been through was for a purpose. Working towards some end goal. Like finally being at peace with it all. To reconnect with him now would make my years of suffering in vain. I know that's petty, I guess, but I've tried so hard to get over it. To be done with it all. I don't want to admit that I've failed. Ha! What's so funny? That's just so like you. You're even more stubborn than this damn cat. Meow. I would expect nothing less from the idiot who spent several days sleeping in a dirty alleyway to avoid asking me for help. I'm never going to live that down, am I? Not while you're every bit as stubborn as you were. It's almost like you were hell-bent on making things worse for yourself. Well, I've sure managed to achieve that. When Aiden told me, I blew up a little. Tobias. Hey, to my credit, it was nothing compared to when I blew up at Logan. I like to think I've improved since then. Those two situations are completely different. It's not a fair comparison. Oh, shut up. Let me at least pretend I'm not a complete fuck-up for a change. Why just pretend? Huh? Imagine you could go back to moments after the fight you had with Logan all those years ago. What would you do? I don't know. If it's moments later, I've already fucked everything up. What if you chased after him, apologized, and explained why you acted the way you did? There was still no excuse. Correct, but you're not trying to excuse it. You're just trying to help him understand. The important thing is the apology. If he had any sense, he wouldn't forgive me. No. Add tech to a techless angry boy. No, no, you don't get a recipe for disaster. You get a recipe for scones. And maybe at first, he wouldn't. But at the very least, you might avoid hostility, and with some work on your relationship, maybe you could have enjoyed a happy ending after all. Sure, but what's your point? How does that help me now? It's much too late for any of that. Maybe so, but it isn't too late with Ada and Diego. You can still make up for it now, and it's never too late to make things right. Your words, not mine. What? No fair, you can't turn my own words back against me like that. I chuckled to myself, noting the now obvious similarities with Diego. Knowing the two were friends for several years explained a lot about Diego and Tobias himself. I can, just did in fact. What are you going to do about it? So, what should I do then? For Logan, carefully consider whether there is any possibility of patching things up. Perhaps it might be best if you just met and just spoke. You might find some closure in that, even if you don't rekindle your friendship. The good news is, you have time. If after 4.5 years he still wants to patch things up, I strongly doubt he will change his mind anytime soon. Take as long as you need to find the answer and make sure it is the right one. As for right now, you have the opportunity to course correct with Aiden and Diego. It is as you said, you can't change that it happened, but you can still try to make things right. To that end, you should contact them, speak with them, preferably in person, apologize to them, and explain why it happened without making it an excuse. Help them understand your perspective. That would pretty much require me to repeat everything I just told you. So it would. And if that is what the situation requires, I believe that is exactly what you should do. But that's personal, and I haven't seen them in a while either. They're your friends, Tobias. Trust them. They're not here to judge you. For once, let your guard down and let them in. If you can do it with me, you can do it with them as well. It's something I've had to learn myself. Genuine friends won't judge you. They'll help you instead. Life is full of challenges we just can't tackle on our own, no matter how strong or independent we think we are. Now, I know you're probably just going to ignore my advice and do your own thing like always, but if you decide not to be an idiot and to listen to reason, here's what I think you should do. Start by not being so damn stubborn for a change. If you want to fix things with your friends, let them in. Believe me, they'll notice, and they'll appreciate it. Make sure it's soon and in person. And while you're there, why not ask about Logan? It's been a long time since you last met. Maybe learning more about who he is today will help you decide what your next move will be. And if I hear you ignored every word of my advice, I swear... Okay. I just want to help, but unless you listen, I can't. So do it. Okay, geez, Lucas, so demanding. I promise I'll take your advice. At least parts of it. Damn it, Tobias. Meow. I fucking love Huxley. Oh, come on. Don't you give me a hard time as well. Meow. We're gonna leave off here tonight. Yeah, we're gonna leave off here tonight. Lucas is a fucking cat person. It makes so much goddamn sense. Like, hold up. I'm gonna do a thing. I'm gonna do a thing real quick. Fucking documents. Sileo PC, Sileo Taser New Dawn, game, sprites. Okay, I feel like this might be a bit disrespectful to Gran. Yeah, I feel like this might be just a tad bit disrespectful to Gran, but it's the greatest idea in existence. Where's this fuck at? Lucas, faces. Huxley is built different. That fucking cat is just built different. Here's the idea. No, fuck. There you go. Oh, and is it still there in the please wait? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Let me do this. Hang on. Hang on. This is the idea. That was my scones recipe tie. I need to make a video about Lucas and Huxley. I simply have to. Anyway, I'm gonna leave off here. So it does kind of fit. Stay safe. Have a good night. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.